Hello and welcome learners. Today we are moving into KTO3, which is one of the most important competencies you will use as a supervisor on the production floor. Let's take a look. In this session, we are going to focus on the four key functions of supervision. 1. Planning. 2. Organizing. 3. Leading. And 4. Controlling. These are not just theoretical concepts. They are actually the day-to-day responsibilities you will carry out as a supervisor. If I can plan well, organize effectively, lead confidently, and control processes consistently, my team will perform better, waste will reduce, quality will improve, and problems will be identified earlier. My goal today is to help you understand these four functions in a practical, meaningful way. I will explain each area as we are on the production floor together, making real decisions in real time. So as we go through this, I want you to think about your own shift, your own tasks, and your own team, because everything we cover today applies directly to your job. Let's begin with our first function, planning. Planning is the starting point of all supervisory work. It answers the question, what needs to be done? How will it be done? When must it be done? And who will do it? Without planning, production becomes reactive, chaotic, and stressful. When I plan properly, I give my team a clear path for the shift. Planning is not always something I do at the beginning of the day. It is an ongoing process that helps me adapt, adjust, and stay ahead of problems. Planning also involves understanding production targets, resources, timelines, skill levels of team members, and potential risks. Now let's explore planning in more depth. Let's move on to setting goals and objectives. A key part of planning is identifying the goals for the shift or production cycle. These goals may come from management, the production schedule, or the customer's requirements. A goal tells us what needs to be achieved. For example, 1. The number of units to be produced. 2. The quality standard required. 3. Deadlines for completion. And 4. Safety or compliance expectations. When I set goals, I make sure they are clear, realistic, and measurable. I also make sure my team understands the goals so that they can work with purpose and direction. Let's move on to planning for resources. Remember, good planning includes checking whether I have the resources needed for the shift. This means asking, 1. Do we have enough manpower? 2. Do we have the right skills on shift? 3. Are materials, tools, and equipment available? And 4. Are there any known machine issues that could affect production? If I identify resource gaps early, I can ask for support or make adjustments before shift becomes stressful. And now we're taking a look at anticipating problems. Part of planning is thinking ahead. A proactive supervisor anticipates possible problems such as 1. Equipment malfunctions. 2. High defect rates. 3. Staff absenteeism. 4. Delays in material supply. When I anticipate problems, I better prepare to respond calmly and effectively if they occur. Planning helps prevent emergencies from turning into crisis. Now that we've discussed how planning sets the foundation for the shift, let's move to the next function, which is organizing, which ensures the plan can actually be executed. Let's take a look. Let's begin by understanding organizing as a supervisory function. Organizing is about arranging resources, whether it be people, equipment, materials, and information, in the most effective way to achieve the plan. Planning tells me what needs to happen. Organizing tells me how it will happen. When I organize well, my team knows where to go, what to do, and what tools they need. Poor communication and organization creates confusion, delays, and unnecessary frustration. Let's move on to allocating tasks. A major part of organizing is deciding who will do what. This means matching tasks to people's skills, experience, and strengths. When I allocate tasks, 1. I consider each person's training level and competence. 2. I ensure critical tasks go to people with the right skills. 3. I balance workload so no one is overwhelmed. 4. I communicate clearly as to what is expected. And 5. Effective task allocation prevents errors, reduces fatigue, and improves productivity. Now, when it comes to coordinating the work environment, it is important to remember that organizing also means setting up the work environment so that the team can work efficiently. This includes 1. Making sure tools and materials are easily accessible. 2. Arranging workstations safely. 3. Ensuring workflow moves smoothly from one step to the next. And 4. Maintaining cleanliness and order. A well-organized environment reduces waste, improves safety, and supports quality performance. Let's move on to time management. Time management is a key part of organizing. As a supervisor, I must manage time wisely, not only my time, but my team's time as well. This includes 1. Structuring the shift. 2. Scheduling breaks. 3. Managing changeovers. And 4. Preventing unnecessary waiting time. When I organize time effectively, production stays on track. Targets are achievable and pressure is reduced. Now we've explored how organizing supports the plan. Let's move into the third supervisory function, which is leading, which deals with how we influence, motivate, and guide our teams. Leading is the human side of supervision. It is about influencing people and not just managing tasks. Leadership determines how your team experiences you and how effectively they work together under your guidance. Where planning and organizing deals with processes, leading deals with people. They are motivation, morale, cooperation, and performance. As a supervisor, I must lead in a way that is firm, fair, and consistent. My leadership style directly affects the team's behavior. Now let's move on to providing direction and clarity. A good leader gives clear direction. This means 1. Explaining what must be done. 2. Clarifying performance standards. 3. Reinforcing safety and quality expectations. And 4. Ensuring everyone understands priorities. When direction is clear, the teamwork works with confidence and efficiency. When direction is unclear, confusion increases and mistakes multiply. Now let's move on to motivating the team. Now when it comes to motivating the team, it is important to remember leadership involves motivating people to give their best effort. As a leader, I motivate my team when I 1. Recognize good work. 2. Show appreciation. 3. Provide guidance when needed. And 4. Display belief in team's abilities. And 5. Maintain a positive and solution-focused attitude. Motivation is not about giving speeches. It's about how I show up every day and how I treat people. One of the strongest forms of leadership is leading by example. When I demonstrate professionalism, respect, punctuality, safety compliance, and consistency, my team is more likely to mirror these behaviors. If I expect high standards from my team, I must show those same standards myself. Leadership is not about what I say, it's about what I do. Now, effective leaders communicate well. This means 1. Listen actively. 2. Speaking respectfully. 3. Providing constructive feedback. 4. Handling conflict calmly. And 5. Being approachable. Communication builds trust and shapes the team culture. Now that we've explored the leadership function, Let's move into the final supervisory responsibility, which is controlling, which ensures the plan, organization, and leadership results in the same outcomes. Now, when it comes to controlling, it is important to remember that controlling is the process of monitoring performance, comparing results to expectations, and taking corrective action when needed. It answers the question: 1. Are we on track? 2. Are targets being met? 3. Is quality acceptable? And 4. Are procedures being followed? Without controlling, problems go unnoticed until it is too late. Controlling ensures consistency, compliance, and continuous improvement. As a supervisor, I must know what is happening in my area at all times. Monitoring involves 1. Walking the floor, 2. Observing work processes, 3. Checking outputs against standards, 4. Watching early signs of problems, and 5. Listening to concerns from team members. Monitoring is not about policing, it is about supporting. It allows me to respond quickly before small issues become big ones. Now let's move on to identifying deviations. Now when it comes to identifying deviations, controlling includes identifying deviations from 1. Production targets, 2. Quality standards, 3. Safety requirements, and 4. Work instructions. A deviation simply means something is not going according to plan. My responsibility is to identify these deviations early and take the appropriate steps. Now let's move on to taking corrective action. Corrective action depends on the nature of the deviation. It may include 1. Coaching the employee, 2. Adjusting a process, 3. Reallocating resources, 4. Retraining staff, 5. Reporting a problem that requires technical support, and 6. Revising expectations if a condition changes. Corrective action must always be fair, timely, and appropriate. Now, it is important to remember that controlling also involves accurate documentation, such as 1. Checklists, 2. Reports, 3. Registers, 4. Logs, and 5. Quality control sheets. Proper documentation creates accountability and provides evidence for audits or investigations. It also helps identify trends and support continuous improvement. The final part of controlling is improvement. When I monitor performance and identify patterns, I can suggest improvements to processes, layouts, communication, or training. A supervisor committed to controlling does not just correct problems, they prevent future problems. Now today we explored the 4 major supervisory functions. 1. Planning, deciding what needs to be done and how. 2. Organizing, arranging people and resources. 3. Leading, guiding, motivating, and influencing the team. And 4. Controlling, monitoring performance and corrective deviations. All 4 functions work together. Even if one is weak, the shift becomes difficult. But when all 4 are strong, the team performs with confidence, clarity, and consistency. As you prepare for your assessment and as you return to your workplace, I want you to reflect on the following questions. Which of the 4 supervisory functions do I perform well already? 2. Which function do I struggle with and how do I improve it? 3. How can I apply these skills in my next shift to improve productivity and teamwork? Leadership is not about perfection. It is about continuous growth. Every day is an opportunity to plan better, organize better, lead better, and control better. This brings us to the end of our session today. Thank you, learners, for your attention and participation.